Hello everybody, Anders here with another Crimson Desert video. Today we have some good news. IGN showcased an almost hour-long gameplay video provided by Pearl Abyss as part of PA's marketing push for the game. It shows the prologue where Cliff and his companions are separated and Cliff is seemingly killed. Throughout the game, you can actually see the scar from where he got his throat slit. We don't know how he survived, but probably something to do with the magic aspect of the story. But after his death, we do see Cliff wake up in what appears to be a time-passing animation, similar to other RPG games. And right away we see one of the oddities, I think, with this gameplay footage, and that's the camera angle. It seems like it is just a bit too high above Cliff, which may be nothing, but I'm sure we can change the position of the center camera, much like we can do in Black Desert Online. Just something I wanted to point out. Aside from that small nitpick, the game's visuals do look incredible. Through the 50 minutes of gameplay, we get to see a small sequence of stories that tie in together and show us glimpses of the larger open world of Clydwen. When Cliff gets to Providence, we see one of the first links to the world of BDO, and that's when he opens the door. It says, "Use the power of Hokelang," which is Hylang in BDO, Tamer's pet. We are then met with a familiar alchemist by the name of Aliston. I'm not sure if he's linked with the Aliston of Black Desert, but more than likely any similarities we get to see to BDO will be Easter eggs in this game with no real links to Black Desert, because as far as I know they're not linked. Even the White Crow Witch is wearing a similar outfit to the original witch outfit in BDO. White Crow and Aliston explain the world Cliff resides in is one of many, and he has been tasked with cleansing some anomalous rifts that have started to appear. We don't really see any of these rifts so far in the gameplay, but the story makes it clear that Cliff's guild, the Greymanes, are artifact hunters and keepers. They search for artifacts that fall from the sky, which I assume is linked with the world of Providence Aliston and White Crow were talking about. Flying down from this white temple looking area to the world, it does let us see how large the landscape is in this game and how many biomes we can expect to travel to. We see mountains, we see plains and deserts similar to Ulukita and BDO, and even a tower looking structure like the one in Dragon. For now, the hour-long gameplay centers around the region of Hernan. We duel with a mercenary on the street, meet one of our companions at Marius who seems to be struggling, and his conversation with us leads me to believe there will be an eventual reunification of every member of our mercenary group. Once we find them all and then re-establish the Greymane Guild, it could lead to a physical guild house being constructed in the world. That's just my speculation, but the dialogue seemed to hint at that happening in the future. With Marius, we also notice a lot of graphical clipping, excessively so in this scene for some reason. For the majority of the gameplay, you don't really notice it unless you really look for it, but the cobblestone streets do clip through your boots, and you sometimes have your sword and character phase through items awkwardly. Not a big deal for me, but I just wanted to point that out. This is also where you start to notice just how loud his footsteps are in this video. For some reason, this is easily solved via the audio mix settings, but seems like an oversight for when they recorded this. The horse calling animation is smooth, pathing looks great, there's a nice looking map that seems to unveil the more you explore. The open world in general looks incredible, though you do notice they're using a limited render distance on some detailed items, which might be a turnoff for those who never got used to the pop-ins from BDO. I don't think it's as bad. I didn't notice it till someone else pointed it out to me in the video. Using items around you to affect the environment is also good to see. It's not just a mechanic where you press a button and something happens. You physically lift the vase of water and throw it at the fire to quell the flames in order to not get burned. Nice little details like that. When the priest healer leaves you and it gives you the option to tackle him, I kind of wish we saw Cliff do that, just to see the reputation mechanic in play. Cliff was very nice overall in this video, so I wonder what happens when he decides to do things like steal or start fights for no reason. We do get to meet up with Shakatu, though in this world he's not exactly rich like he is in BDO. He does ask us for help and we venture into a nearby encampment to fight a boss. The group fighting in this game looks tense because Cliff doesn't seem to have a ton of AoE abilities, a lot of knockdowns, a lot of sword and shield skills, but I wonder if that will change once they showcase some of the magical skills we've seen in previous trailers, and also some other weapons that we know he can pick up and use. The duel itself at the end of the gameplay video is really good. The enemy attacks are flashy and satisfying to look at, but we do have that issue of character clipping and awkward interactions with items around you as you fight. The finisher cutscene is a lot more gruesome than I anticipated, but it was awesome to watch. I like what they were going for. The voice acting I think is top notch, even if some of the dialogue is a bit over the top at times. In general, this was a great showcase for the game, showed us some more of the world, flexed that graphical fidelity, but it also showed us that there is still some work to be done in terms of polish. There is no current release date, though some outlets in Korea mention a Q2 release in 2025. More than likely we see a release date reveal at the Game Awards this December with a wishlist call to action for Steam. I'll link the full video in the pinned comment so you can watch it yourself, though I recommend skipping the extra preview video on IGN's YouTube channel. I found it to be a little disjointed from the actual gameplay video we just saw. Didn't really seem like the journalist actually played the game for long, and he was making some strange comparisons to other games, but that was just my take on it. Let me know what you think about the gameplay. Does it look good to you? Are you surprised to see BDO references in the game? Let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.